All right, bang, bang. Welcome to episode 13 of the Dave Portnoy Show with Eddie and Company. Presented, by Taser. I got
it.
mine, Dave. Did you get yours?
I do. It's sick. It's sick.
It's awesome. You got the strike light there. That's the rechargeable. It's high powered. It's got a flashlight. Can repel an attacker through its electric stun feature. It literally combines a flashlight and a stun gun. Why would you have a flashlight without this feature? It's very sick.
This is awesome.
There you go. Now the yellow one, if you're watching on YouTube, that's the Taser Plus. It's the same personal defense device used by law enforcement. It shoots out 2 darts, delivers electricity, and incapacitates, did I say that right? Someone for 30 seconds at a time.
This is awesome stuff. I don't know that I'm supposed to be like this enthralled by it because it is a personal safety. But if I got a gift for the holidays and I open this, honestly, my gut instinct would be like sick. I wouldn't be expecting it, and I'd be like sick. This is sick. It was sick. This is sick stuff. What is this? Oh, is this the packaging?
Extra cartridge in there.
Extra cartridge. Yeah. Here's the listen. This is sick. This is sick. I'm not just saying this is like unique. Like I'm the guy who has everything. I would get this and be like, sick. Like, if I had this before, this could have been my green hammer on DDTG, like a yellow stun gun.
That would have been big.
Bang.
Because it's such a step up to get a real gun. Like, I don't know, like, obviously there's a lot of gun guys.
I don't want a real gun. I don't want a real gun. I want this.
Me neither. That's why I like that.
Yeah, and this looks like you're in Chips. Paunch. Who's the other guy in Chips? Paunch and who?
I'm not too familiar with what you're talking about.
You don't know the TV show Chips?
No, I don't.
L.A. Highway Patrol?
No, I don't.
Paunch?
Officer Jonathan Andrew Baker?
Yeah, Jonathan and Paunch, right?
Paunch, yeah.
Come on, guys. Wake up. You're missing a great lifetime. There was a movie about it not too long ago. Chips.
I don't know.
L.A. Motorcycle Patrol. I don't know what Chips stands for. It stands for something. But, yeah, Chips.
Where do the people find the Taser at, Dave?
Go to taser.com. Use a promo code Barstool, 15% off. Please note, limited number of states require permit for use. That's what you want to hear. And Taser products cannot be purchased for personal use in Hawaii or Rhode Island. Taser.com.
All right.
Promo code Barstool. Shit's sick.
Go pick one up, taser.com. All right, so Jim Cramer is going to be joining us here in a minute.
Yep.
I do want to say last week I teased up a guest. Cramer's a great guy. You're very friendly with him. He wasn't who I was teeing up, but hopefully we'll get that guy down the line, and we're excited to have Jim on the show today.
Why is it a tease? You don't say it. We don't know that we're going to get the guy. I think you can say who it is.
Yeah. Do you want to say it?
Do you want to say it or me? Because I have the funny story with it.
Yeah, you could say it because you got the story.
So Jimmy Buffett, who everyone who knows me knows I'm a parrot head, used to dress my car as a shark the whole 9 yards in high school. And somehow I've become friendly with him. But I was at the pool. I told you this story, Eddie. So, well, Eddie and I talked. Eddie's like, hey, I got to talk to you about some work shit. And I'm like, all right, 15 minutes. I'll be free in 15 minutes. Well, at 15 minutes, I get a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. I didn't know where you were calling from, Eddie. So I'm like, all right, this could be him. I pick it up, and there's a guy going, Jimmy, over. Jimmy, over. And I was like, what? I was like, hello? Jimmy, over. And I'm just listening. I have sweat in my eyes. I'm at the pool. I can't see. I'm looking at the phone. Jimmy, over. I don't say anything. Like a couple minutes go by, hang up. 2 seconds later, Eddie calls. And I told Eddie, I go, Eddie, I thought for a minute that you somehow had Jimmy Buffett call me. Like some guy, Jimmy, I think he was saying Jimmy over, like he was on an intercom, call me. He's like, no, I didn't do that. Hung up, forgot about it. I get an email later that day from like Jimmy Buffett's like agent manager. He's like, hey, Jimmy tried to call you from his airplane. Here's his number and his cell phone. And it's like, oh my God, I hung up on Jimmy Buffett. He's like, oh, did he do that airplane routine on you? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, what he expects you to, I didn't even know he had my number, Jimmy Buffett. So to just hear somebody be like, Jimmy, over, and with no context, no expectation of a phone call. It was quite stunning. And then I told you, Eddie, that story. We both laughed. I'm like, I thought you set up this guy, got pranked. I didn't know it was really him. And you're like, oh, no, I had nothing to do with it. Then I forwarded you the text that actually said it was him, and you didn't even react. You literally didn't react. It's like I hung up on Jimmy Buffett, who called me from his airplane on his way to St. Barth's, and you didn't even react. You were like, oh, yeah, haha.
Your timeline's off a little bit.
No.
It's a little bit off.
How?
Because I talked to you the next day. The plane ride was the night before.
No, it wasn't. The plane ride was like 2 seconds. He called me like 5 seconds before I talked to you.
Plane, not you. For some reason, I had it in my brain when you were on the plane.
No, he was on a plane.
Oh, okay. I was confused. Hand up.
Yeah, your reaction, I actually sent you. I was like, you're not even going to react that it was Jimmy Buffett to the story I just told? And you're like, oh, yeah, how? What do you have for lunch?
Well,
I'm never going to tell you a story like that. I was like, I told a lot of people that story. I'm like, you'll never guess. Jimmy Buffett called me from an airplane. I hung up on him by accident. You didn't give a fuck.
I honestly was confused at first. I was like, wait a minute. Like, because the area code was like a million numbers.
Yeah. He called me. He has like a plane phone somehow. Whatever that is.
I said, haha, that's a wild experience. You hung up on Jimmy Buffett?
I had to drag it out of you. You didn't say anything the first time.
I hung up on Van Halen's manager once when I was at Stern. I got in a lot of trouble.
You do see the difference between Van Halen's manager and Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah,
that's like you didn't hang up on Van Halen. You hung up on Van Halen's manager. I hung up on Jimmy Buffett.
But the way you make it sound is like it was like a walkie-talkie. Like a over.
Yeah, because he was on a plane. That must have been like what a plane phone sounds like. Jimmy, over.
Why was he doing that, though?
I have no idea.
That doesn't make sense. Like, there was no message.
He was trying to talk to me. I was on the phone. Like, because I thought it was a prank, so I never was like, yeah, this is David. Like, who is this? I was just listening for him to say the next thing. He just kept going, Jimmy, over.
So the phones work on the private jets like that?
It was working. I was talking to him. Well, he was talking to me. And then I called him back on his cell phone, left a message, and I was I guess I'm such a Jimmy Buffett fan, but I got his voicemail that said, hey, it's Jimmy, leave a message. And even then I was like, holy fuck, I just left a message on Jimmy Buffett's cell phone. I'm trying to wiggle my way. So he's said he will come on this podcast. He offered to do it. In fact, he's like, I'd love to do it. And he also said, I'll bring my guitar and Dave can like pick songs and play from his studio in St. Bart's. Well, me being me, I'm like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm trying to be like, well, I'll just go to St. Bart's. I'll sit in the studio. And Jimmy, you can strum your guitar to me. Delaney talks to statues, the wino and I know. I'll pick my greatest and have like a private fucking concert. So that's what I'm trying to basically have happen. Now, I will say I've thought about it a lot. And I don't know if it's just me and Jimmy and I'm just eye contacting him the entire time, not like bobbing my head. Well, that would be awkward. I'm not a great like in my seat dance, two people in a room, two guys just strumming guitars. I will maybe get high. I maybe bring somebody. I don't know. But I'm trying. Imagine that would be the craziest thing that's probably ever happened to me, Barstool, to sit in Jimmy Buffett's studio in St. Bart's and have a private, basically, concert for myself.
No, it would be an incredible visual. But you had a one-on-one concert with one-on-one concert with Theo, didn't you?
Theo Epstein.
Yeah.
That's one of the legendary stories. I've told it a lot, but the backstory, when he was in Boston, my buddy worked for the Red Sox. He was president of baseball operations, Pete Woodfork. He brought me to party with Theo. There was like, I don't know, 30 people. Jed was there, Hoyer, your new guy. You know I played on flag football team with him, right?
No, you've never said that.
Oh, yeah. It was me, Jed Hoyer, Dave Forst, who like is the A's guy, or I don't know where he is. He worked at the A's. Woodfork, we had a flag football team one like we all played one. I fucking was awesome. Hoyer was not that great. But yeah, so anyways, I knew Theo. We went to this party. The guy had a guitar and was playing like fucking Pearl Jam to the party. It was like, who is this lame-o? The real story. I also then went to my friend's bachelor party, and they were all there, and they were so scared I was there, they made me like take a blood oath that I wouldn't repeat any of the stories that were told over dinner.
What period is this though? Is this like how far are we into Barstool, or was this Chin Beard Dave?
Oh no, we were into Barstool.
Okay.
We were into Barstool. Now, when he was playing his guitar, I didn't know who I was. It wasn't big enough where Theo's like, maybe I shouldn't be playing my guitar, fucking belting out Daughter in front of this guy. But yeah, that part of it was early. By the time the dinner came around, they were much more like, watch out, the enemy is here.
Have you talked to him since? Does he know you bring up this story? Like, does he ever shoot you an email like, Dave, stop fucking telling
Who, Theo?
Yeah.
Oh, Theo knows I tell the story, yes. He 100% knows. And it's obviously true. He's a fucking Pearl Jam fanatic. He has like Eddie Vedder at the Cubs games. Yeah, no, they know. They know they tell the story. You know that.
You think he likes
I'm
you?
almost positive. You know that famous picture when he's leaving Boston with like the gorilla mask on?
Yeah.
Like my buddy was with him with that.
Oh, really?
And this is when I say my buddy, he's a kid I grew up with. He's like, one of my very good friends.
And Douglas, the Jets guy, he's you grew
Joe
up with him
Douglas.
too?
No, I didn't grow up with him. He's Elio's best friend. So Elio and McShay, they all played football together at Richmond. So I've known Joe forever.
How do you have that many people like in the fucking network? That's
Powerful
weird.
people.
It really is.
We have a very well-known group of friends. When you think about the small McShay, myself, Woodfork, Joe Douglas, there's a lot who have done made names for themselves.
Fuck yeah, it has. Now, do you think Theo likes you now?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
He's been on PMT.
Yeah, in that gorilla. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Well, he likes Dan. Yeah. But the difference between Dan and I is Dan's a lot nicer.
Way nicer.
So Dan will protect and did protect at times Theo. Like there's times where I would be like, Theo's never done shit for me, so I'm not in the protection club.
No.
So he likes probably Dan and probably neutral to not like of me, maybe.
I would say that's pretty accurate. We do have Cramer on, so let's talk about Slice and then let's get to Cramer, Dave. How about that?
No, let's fucking get Cramer. We're not leaving Cramer on hold.
We got to stuff these ads in somewhere, Dave.
Can Cramer hear us right now? No. He's on hold? No, we got to get Cramer on. We'll do Slice after. All
right, fine. Let's get Jim Cramer in here. Michelangelo, please.
There he is.
Hey, guys.
Now, could you just hear us, Jim?
You sound perfect.
Okay, but first of all, I'm going to apologize for my friend Eddie who hosts this show because I found out, the second I found out you're on the line, I'm like, get him in here. And he wanted to put you on hold for a couple. He's like, no, we got a couple ads. I go, listen, Jim Cramer is not holding. We're not putting him on hold for anybody. So on behalf of Eddie, I apologize.
So you're the guy.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
It's the game. He knows how it works. He's got people backstage. You got to wait for a couple minutes. He knows.
No.
I am absolutely fine and excited. And don't worry about a thing. I just wanted to be sure. I thought that, I just didn't want to screw up your schedule. So we're cool.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for coming. I've described, for those who, and everyone knows who Jim Cramer is, I've described you, Jim, as one of the few people that I've met who I would consider like, yeah, I'm friends with Jim. Like, we may not agree on everything, but I like him, and we can agree to disagree when we disagree or whatever. But who do you have to ask to come? I know now you have to ask people if you're allowed to do our content, correct?
Well, I have somebody who has my video rights, someone who has my TV rights, and you just have to say, listen, I'm doing this. I think that what mostly what people want to know is what you're doing. One day I hope that I own myself, but that time is not yet.
Yes. And that has actually, in our conversations, I think we've hit it off. One of the things, probably the only that you're envious that I get to say whatever I want with basically no repercussions. That seems to be an ongoing theme that you wish you had.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel. Do I want to be you? I mean, we all want to be ourselves, right? But you see, you are you are what I want to be. and I can't because I've gone through a certain period of my career already. But you tell the truth, and the truth is very dangerous. And the truth is the kind of thing like when you defrocked the stock market, I cheered because I wanted to do that, but I was afraid. I was afraid because I felt like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll be somehow ostracized or I won't be accepted. And you were not afraid of an industry that is very powerful. So yeah, how about this? Let's use the word, and I know this is a sin, envious of your ability to be able to say, you know what? Here's the deal. I don't care about any of that stuff. This is what's interesting. And you brought so many people into the stock market that I love you. Because once they're in, we can get them interested in other stuff too. So it is a great pleasure. And it's, I wish, and that's one of the reasons when you said you wanted me on the show, I wanted to thank you because what's happened is once you get the taste of it, you kind of want to know, okay, is Tesla still good? Or it should be in the cruise lines. And, you know, you turned me on to a lot of stuff myself where I was too negative and you were positive. So anyway, thank you. You're a trailblazer in this industry as well as your industry. And I saw, like, for instance, Maryland today, Penn Nat. How fabulous is that? I think that trying to get people to understand stocks and understand gambling or understand DFS or fantasy, these are all skill sets. And we want to teach as many people. You do it in a funnier way. And you're more entertaining than I am. But it's pure joy.
Yeah, and I mean, you're obviously being very humble because, you know, in some respects, I think it is fair, although why I say you're being humble, to compare what you did at the time you did it with Mad Money was radically different than how anybody talked about the stocks, much how people kind of said what I started doing. Now, there's different technologies, different ways that I could get mine out. But what you did was equally, if not far more revolutionary at the time. But they're just different ways to talk to people that they really weren't used to.
Well, that's a great thing. I was pilloried. It was 16 years ago. I was pilloried for calling it a game. But it is a game. And when you try to make it into something else, it's because you want to make it so that it's something that you want their assets, that you are a salesperson for the industry. And I come out and say, you know what? I used to play the ponies. All right. There's a lot of skill set to being able to have discipline enough to play only the 7th race at Suffolk Downs. I love blackjack. There's a lot of discipline to look at the cards and just drinking water. Here, there's a lot of disciplines, and you've got to do them right. For DFS, there's a game stack. There's a lot of disciplines. You got to do them right. These are all about discipline for me. And the show was mistakenly regarded as being a show about touting or a show about entertainment when it's meant to be learning. But you know what? I embraced it. And I say at the beginning of the show every night, I'm not here just to entertain you because I want to throw it right back in their faces. Because the goal is to get people in. You brought more people in who are younger than anybody I've ever seen. And I know the Robin Hood guys feel that way. They haven't said it to me, but I'm just saying. And you know, what happens when you get in? Well, you know what? You discover that it's a beautiful thing, that you can make more money than your paycheck. But it's also, you can't take it too seriously. Because if you take it really seriously, you're going to screw it up. And now I do take the Eagles seriously, and you know that. And that's the type of thing that does make me cry. But stocks are pieces of paper. And you told correctly people, listen, understand, you could do Scrabble. You could, pick these stocks. We're going to take up these stocks. But the fact was, if you look at the stocks that you liked, they were stocks where you were banking on things getting better. And that was remarkable. Everyone else thought it was going to get worse. Now, you may think, look, we can pick this, pick that. But I watched very closely. And what I realized was, wait a second, don't be so negative. Don't be so negative. Dave is not that negative, even if it's just kind of a way of being. So anyway, I mean, to me, I appreciate the comments about Mad Money, and it was revolutionary. But when I watch it now, wherever you go and whatever you say, it's hysterical, but it's entertaining. But for me, it's very educational. And I know that seems like, oh, wait a second, what a suck-up thing. But no, I don't know this stuff, and I want to learn it.
Now, it's something else, and this could be just my perception from the first time I met you. And when people, this is the number one question I get asked about you, is he the same off camera as on? Trust me, he is the same. The same energy, same everything. Long after the camera's off, we stop and we talk, and we're talking the same exact way. But one thing, and I may have imagined this, and I can't tell if it's me, you seem to be embroiled on Twitter and a lot more back and forth. Like, reminds me of myself with people calling you out and you going back at them. Have you always done this? Is this a new development with you?
No, I'm a combative person. A lot of people say, listen, don't address those people. But those people are foils for me. And I enjoy it. And for a long time, I didn't engage. But now, I make up like I'm Jimmy Chill. Like, obviously,
that's the character.
Chill.
Yeah.
And I now head on. One of the things I've been doing lately is I'm going to find out where you work and tell your boss.
I hate that technique.
Anything.
I hate that
technique. Come at him, Dave.
Yeah, but I hate that technique. I feel like that gives bad. I feel like taking the Twitter world, unless they are like doing something so overtly horrible. If you're just talking trash, in a way, it's like sports. Like, that stuff should stay.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, like, I know where your family is.
Oh, that's totally different. Yeah, that's
talking
totally
trash.
different.
I love.
Yeah.
I always say the same thing. Trash the stock. Don't trash me.
Right.
Say, hey, listen, Cramer, you don't know what you're talking about because that stock sucks. I like that. That's a comeback. But just say, Cramer, you suck because you're a son of a bitch and I hate you. It's like, will you give me a goddamn break? Honest to God, life's too short. I like, and I don't mind. Like, when you came to the stadium, and I said, please don't wear Patriot. And,
by the way,
for half Patriot, half Eagles.
For those who don't know this story, Jim invited me to an Eagles-Patriots game last year. And he said, and he's got a beautiful box at the stadium right in the middle. And he says the one thing is you can't wear Patriot gear. I thought he was joking. I was like, "What do you mean I can't wear Patriot gear?" Through a series of exchanges became very obvious he was not joking. He's like, "I will not accept Patriot gear in this box." So I said, "All right." So that is why I do the pizza review. I have a half Foles, half Brady jersey because of that declaration. Also, one of the biggest Eagle fans I've ever met. I don't know if you tell this publicly, but you have the seat saved for your dad. The works. So an all-time Eagles fan, and you got the best. When they won the Super Bowl, that was in our part of a relationship. That was bad timing for me. But yeah, that was a serious thing. As serious an Eagles fan as you get, I don't know what you're feeling now that Wentz is seemingly done.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out whether they can trade him to Frank Reich. Maybe give him give like 3 draft picks to Frank and Wentz. We'll see. Look, they're obviously going to have game film this week in the Cardinals. So I think that Hurts won't look as great. I will tell you that you are loved by the Eagles. You're loved by management. You're loved by Howie Roseman.
He reached out to me. When we were moving to Philly to do the Penn gambling there. He reached out. He's like, if you need any pizza recommendations, if you need anything, like, I'm happy to meet. If you need ticket, whatever you need in the city, he reached out.
See, this is what I'm talking about. That's the real Dave.
Yeah.
Howie, obviously, Eagles general manager, reaches out to Dave. Why? Because you're a sports fan and you're a gent. Now, you do have, obviously, like I do, eccentricities. But the fact is, you were so respected by I don't want to be like just what a suck-up situation here, but I'm telling you the truth. But everyone wanted to know what you're wearing. I told them. Everyone wanted to know where you went after. They wanted to know where you went before. They wanted to know whether you really like Angelo's. They wanted to know whether you like Geno's or, it was like incredible. And we all do care. My mom loved the D'Alessandros. You correctly identified the weakness of D'Alessandros. My dad liked Geno's because they had this little room in the back that was like, he called it the Sinatra section. And he felt like Sinatra when he was back there. So you understand all of the things that we live for. Like when we're looking at it's like at 18th and Walnut, we say, he's at 18th and Walnut. That's what we're like. We're like, he's at 14th and Reed. Oh my God. We are like people, we're intersection people. We're like nuts. But we love it when you're like, oh my God, he's at Tony Luke's. I can't believe he's at Tony Luke. Oh God, I hope he likes Tony Luke. Yes, it's insane who we really are.
Well, it's all local. That's an East Coast vibe, East Coast mentality, I think, with all that stuff.
Buffalo, too, probably.
Buffalo, all the East Coast, blue-collar cities. Like, even we're big in the Midwest, the Clevelands of the world, all that stuff. So one thing I think we do disagree on, which I saw you talk about, and I respect your opinion, and you guys have the restaurant. So the New York shut down the indoor dining. I think you got to let the restaurants and people decide. I saw you go on ventilation. So you're if I understand your take, we got to get what your point of view seemed to be, get these restaurants more money, get them the PPP, keep them closed, but get the money, which I'm fine with. But we seem to be stuck with neither right now. And until we get there, I think not. I've seen stats, and who knows they're accurate, like 90% of New York City restaurants are going to just go away, which...
Yeah, see, this is bad. I mean, now I've mothballed mine. I got rent breaks from both. So I want to wait for the vaccine. I do think that the vaccine's coming much faster than people think. So I'm all set. I've got my team. We're all set to open. I do have to make some aerosol changes in one of my places. I've got a professor who knows aerosol to be able to get in so that I won't feel like it's my place that's caused a problem. But this is ridiculous. I mean, we got 14 million people going to be laid off. It's absolutely nuts. They won't let us be outside. Why? Because it's a damn bus stop. The other restaurant we had, the one that you went to, the Department of Transportation came and told us to take away tables. I mean, honest to God, this thing is just miserable. But we have to find a way to make it so we can bridge the gap so that these places don't go under. I mean, I got a chance to go to Le Bernardin for my wife's birthday. And, this is a fancy place. And the guy spent a ton of money making the ventilation perfect, which is what I want to do for my place. And it's perfect. And they shut him down, which is like ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, what, you mean all the work he did means that it's nothing? I mean, how about being judicious rather than just, it's like what they did to the retailers. Like they shut down Kohl's because it doesn't sell food, and Nordstrom. So then that made it so Costco and Target and Walmart killed those guys. They'll never come back. So they made a decision to put companies out of business. Who are they to make that decision? Who are they? And the answer is they're people who are owned by the big interests.
So I feel the same way, and that's why, I just can't, the way Barstool was built and small business, it's something I'm wildly passionate about. I just can't fathom working that hard. And I'm talking about the single businesses, not the chains, but the ones, you could be decades building it up, and it's just,
Go on.
You're just stuck. You're just with no options, no answers, no nothing. And it's crazy. And we've been talking about it because the guy reached out. I don't know if you saw it. The guy who does The Profit. He has the show The Profit.
Oh, Marcus Lemonis.
So he reached out. I did a rant that said you got to let restaurants, small business, control their own fate. You can't shut them down with no answer. You can't do it. He said, put your money where your mouth is. He was tweeting at me, basically. Said, donate $500,000. And I said, yes. And we spoke with them, and we're trying to figure out the best way to get the money to the restaurant workers, the owners, things like that. But anyway, it's just crazy. You have to help these people. To lose your business through no fault of your own, and now we're going 10 months, whatever, it just, something has to be done, especially.
Yeah, I mean, my dad sold boxes, and he sold bags to restaurants. He sold doggy bags. He had a good idea. He said, instead of that, thank you for your serving or whatever it is, he would sketch, he's 78 when he did this. He would sketch the logos of the restaurants and then knock on their doors and show the management. My dad would be so out of business. He built a business around these doggy bags at 78. And he was doing it until the day he died. But all of his clients would be out of business because they're all independent restaurants, right? Because,
Yep.
like McDonald's doesn't need my dad's bag. So why don't they tell us what to do? Why don't they give us some instructions? Why don't they say, wait, so what the hell is that? God damn it. Why don't they say, hey, listen, here's the deal. If you do this, this, and this, you're fine. Why don't they tell us? I mean, maybe they say, listen, Jim, you got to keep the windows open at Bar San Miguel, and you got to have fans. Okay.
Right.
I'll do whatever you want. I'll
Right.
open the front of my restaurant, open the back door. We'll have tons of it. We will have absolutely tons of ventilation. But tell me what to do. I want to stay open. So does Rodrigo. So does Domingo. Okay? So does Tony. So does Bernard. These guys all want to work. They want to work, and they want to work hard, and they're great. Tell me what to do so I can pay them. But no. One day I'm shut. What is this?
And
what is this?
Right. And for the bar industry, a lot of the people who now can't go to bars, it's just naive to think, like I was in Miami this weekend, there's underground parties with DJs. It's not like these people are just now staying in. They're just going other places with zero monitoring now. So it just to say it and then give no solution, it's crazy. It drives me crazy.
Well, I got to tell you, my daughter went to see a hologram at Whitney Houston concert. on Sunday, and it was packed. She went with her girlfriend, and everybody was there dancing. You had to have had COVID to go.
I believe I've had COVID, so in that way, it's like I think safe.
No, but can you imagine? Is that where we're going? Hey, you know what? You can have a great time if you get COVID.
How did you prove that? You have to bring like your paperwork or something?
She showed she missed work. She's a teacher. She teaches English in a high school in Madrid. Can you imagine?
That is crazy.
She said everyone is like, in school at 11th grade. They're incredibly respectful. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that also unusual. All right, so stocks. I'm trying to think what I'm in right now. You always ask this. Once I got back to work, I've had less time. I used to like religiously be doing it. I know.
I mean, it was so much fun. That 9:20.
Yep, the 9:20 like clockwork. Now I don't know my schedule.
I used to refer to it constantly.
I know,
network.
And then I'd
like, oh my God, is he like watching us?
It was a cycle of doom, basically. You would do it, I'd retweet it. But things are still as crazy as it sounds. From when I started in March, everything's still going up, 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 up. Is it ever going to end?
I think one day it will when they raise interest rates and maybe president decides that people shouldn't make a lot of money in stocks. They raise capital gains rates, something like that. But what you did, and I really want to emphasize this to your listeners, your viewers. The big guns on Wall Street all said that the world was going to come to an end. And you came on and said it's not coming to an end, and here's some things to buy. Well, if you look at what you said to buy, and you look at what they wanted to do, the amount of money that you made people is extraordinary. And that's why they're still buying stocks, because they're playing with the house's money. Because you had a different attitude. You had an attitude that said, I don't know whether it was that you felt that we could beat it, or that America's stronger, or that we're just like good people. But the point of it was you did not give up. And it reminds me of the things we learned in sports, right? Like the Giants go out to Seattle. They're supposed to lose, but they have some pride. We were supposed to lose to the Saints, who didn't look as good as I thought. The defense at 8-9, it didn't look as good. But there is personal pride, and you had pride in what you did, and you had belief in yourself. The other guys didn't. They believed that the world was coming to an end. Have you noticed that they've all disappeared?
Oh, well, that's
the
name of the game in the stock market. I mean, people very rarely take accountability for what they said months ago. And I have said this. People always with the day trading, this, that. I've said the same thing, and this would apply to you. It would apply to everybody. If you're listening to anything about a stock show on a daily basis or advice, you have to be trading. Maybe not daily, but you're playing the game, because if not, you're not watching the shows. You just buy your stocks and you sit there and you wait. Now, over 10 years, they'll probably go up, but the only reason to listen to the daily advice is you're trying to make some moves to make the most money you can.
Well, I called everybody to attention to watch you. There was a day when you lost 400,000, and you said it. And I said, this may be the only truthful man in the whole world, certainly in my world. Do you know how hard it is to get someone to admit that they lost money? You say, I lost 400 grand. And it's like, oh my God, I love this guy. This guy just admitted he got something wrong. All of my friends are batting 1,000. Everyone bats 1,000.
And
nobody bats 1,000.
And I'll tell you what, the people in this industry, for the most part, not always, they liked me a lot more when I was losing. When I started winning, they didn't like me as much. It changed quickly how they viewed me.
So. I loved it. Man, I remember when you were liking certain stocks. I mean, how much did you like the cruise lines?
The airlines and the cruises were the big stance.
They've all doubled.
Yo, doubled.
Carnival tripled.
Yeah, Spirit's at like 26. I liked it at 7. Now, I did sell it. I sold it at 20.
Unbelievable. I'm buddies. Well, I shouldn't say it's not about friends, it's about money. But Frank Del Rio runs Norwegian. And when the stock was at 13, he said, what do you think? I said, double. I think it's a double. He goes, really? You believe me? And I'm thinking, yeah, I do. And a lot of it is I'm like, listen to Portnoy, and Portnoy's making sense to me. And then I look at the balance sheet. I know that Del Rio's got great ships. I know what's going to happen. And I tell people, go buy Norwegian. So he comes back and says, boy, you really have faith. I said, I have faith in you. I have faith in people wanting to travel. I actually had booked a cruise at Washington's birthday last year and didn't get to go because of the pandemic. But, you had faith that things could be working out. And that's what people needed. And you didn't do it for show. You did it because you believed.
Well, the only way things really could have gotten lower is if society ended. I mean, and I didn't think it, and then money doesn't matter anyway, so who cares?
Well, a lot of people I know are like, hey, I'm on an island because I'm ready. Like, ready?
Yeah.
Like, what are you ready for? Like the revolution?
Yeah,
There's no revolution.
I never thought that was going to be the case.
I know you never did. And you recognize like I do. I mean, look, family's really important, and our teams are very important, okay? They are very important. And I asked that my wife not watch me last week because I had a bad feel, but that was wrong. The week before, it got very, very ugly. I threw the clicker at the TV. You know, the clicker at the TV thing, it's old by now, you know?
Well,
I mean, it's old.
The Eagles, I don't think Jalen is the answer, but one of the faster, swifter downfalls from a Super Bowl team in recent memory.
Whoa, you got it. It's like a 60-0 in how many seconds?
The curse of Nick Foles.
It is. It is. Hey, you know what? I have to tell you that there's some games that are just unbelievably good this year. I mean, I think it's going to be Green Bay versus Kansas City. I actually think Green Bay can beat Kansas City.
I don't. I think the best teams are all in the AFC. I like Kansas City. I think Buffalo is very good. Those are the two.
McDermott is the best coach of all. He's an Andy Reid disciple. I love him. Frank Reich. Colts are fabulous. Titans look terrific. I mean, think about all these teams.
Titans could be a problem if they play well. They're up and down, but that running game, you never know.
I know. But I love it as much as ever.
I know.
I had Cramer's Cash Contest, and I came in 6th this week.
Is that all?
You know, my wife was like, what are you doing? I said, this is like, we're going to go out and have champagne. She goes, it's a pandemic. You can't go out. I said, no, we got to go out. We got to find a place that's safe to go out. She goes, there's no place that's safe to go out. I said, all right, I'll go to a liquor store, buy a bottle of champagne. So we had some champagne.
Is the Cramer Cash Contest on the company's name that we don't mention by name?
Yeah, you know, and I don't want to go into that because we're all friendly in terms of the rivalry. But,
yeah, well, the first time I saw that was like someone clubbed me in the back of the head. I was walking down the street and bang, get hit with a club. Like, what just happened here? Everyone's tweeting at me like, what's your boy doing? But, yeah, there's enough to go around, I suppose.
You know, look, I watch you. I enjoy you. By the way, I think that you're one of the reasons why the states have to recognize, listen, let's make some money. Let's bring in gambling. I mean, Adam Silver said it. Adam Silver's a real smart guy.
Leader in it.
I don't understand the resistance. It's so stupid.
And it's eventually going to be everywhere, so why wait? You can start getting the money right away. It's crazy. Slowly but surely. And I mean, listen, I wish I bought my own stock when it was at 5. I didn't do that, so I can't.
No, but you know what? Remember you took on that guy who didn't like Penn Nat at like 20?
Yes. Well, I've been told I can't do that anymore. But
Santana, what was his name? Santana?
Carlos something. I've been told that he keeps bringing up the. I'm sure he keeps bringing up the target price, but I've been told not.
How about we just say he's wrong?
Yeah. I've been told not to taunt my enemies like that anymore because they may go to SEC, whatever. They're like, what's it's not worth it. So I've bit my tongue on that.
You know, Jay is a great guy, Jay Snowden. He has a vision, all right? And his vision is a democracy of gambling, democracy of casinos. You don't have to just go to Vegas. I love that. He has historically been a very upbeat guy. And when the stock went to like 5-7, he wasn't the least bit worried because he had great faith in himself, which I love. I love faith in himself because that's like he's 1-4. He's going up to Green Bay and he wins. And then the next 6 games he wins. So, look, he's a good guy. You're a good guy. Nardini's terrific. I look forward to meeting your whole crew because you just, you stand for honesty and truth about what's going on. I think that it is so Philadelphia loves you.
They do. Big city.
They love you.
I've adopted it.
That's fantastic.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Jim. It's always a pleasure, and you were one of the first guests that I'm like, well, we got to get Jim Cramer if we're doing this show. So
you're a good man.
I appreciate it.
Have a great day. Hey, is it Eddie?
Yeah.
He said a lot.
I love you. I love Eddie. All right?
I like you too, Jim. I like you too.
All right. Let's go get him, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, crush him. Crush him.
Bye.
Thanks, Jim.
He's like that off camera. Same. Like whoever talked to him next, same energy.
Love that.
Yeah.
That was great.
And he's a big Barstool guy. Like I said, we went to that Eagles game. Paul was with me. But, like, as genuine I mean, he literally has a seat. His dad, I'm not sure when he passed, but he saves a seat. No one can sit in it, like for his dad at the game. He's a real deal guy.
It's just so alarming how he likes you for the right reasons because you told the truth and you were honest and you were positive. How many people are not doing that in that world that he's so refreshed by you, you know?
I mean, he's even been accused of it. People showed videos of him, but like in the past, I guess pumping, I'm not quite sure. I don't want to talk out of turn on it, but people say, why do you say this about a stock or whatever? But he says what is the truth. It's a game. And anyone who says it's not a game is just not telling the truth. It's a game in the sense it's the world's biggest casino. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I mean, for him to be like, you're honest, and that's why we like you. It's like, man, how many fucking people are lying? Like, it's weird to say that you lost like that.
It is. Nobody does it.
What?
Nobody does it. Nobody's like, hey, I got crushed on this. Nobody.
That's so crazy. And that obviously goes back to Gerber, who I'm going to get to in a second here, where, like you said, a lot of people don't admit it.
We flipped them.
Tweets and shit.
We flipped Gerber.
Yeah.
We flipped them.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about stocks, so that's why I'm like, I was just fascinated just listening to you two, but the fact that there's everyone just kind of lies and covers it up, it's
a game.
I mean,
it's no different than a lot of things, but you have to know everybody has a huge agenda. I'm able to do what I'm doing because my agenda I wasn't trying to take money from people. I'm not trying to get clients. I'm investing my own money, just like no different than if I'm betting on sports. I say if I win or lose, I don't benefit from being like, oh, I'm not charging for picks. You want to do the Slice ad now since you try to keep them on all. And apologies Slice for making it go after Jim because we're trying to spread it out. But Slice, the official pizza delivery partner of One Bite. Download the Slice delivery app. Use the code Dave. $3 off your first order. These are the pizza people. They work with 14,000 local pizzerias, saved $200 million in fees because I've said it, like the DoorDash, the Grubhub, the Uber Eats, they take such a big fee, it kills pizza places. That's why Slice was designed to serve just pizza places. So again, download the delivery app. Use code Dave for $3 off your first order. And it is the official. You can order right on the One Bite app. Use the promo code Dave, $3 off your first order.
There you go. It's easier and quicker. So we talked about coronavirus rant a little bit with Jim there. I think the total is right about 48,000 retweets right now. When you put those out, like, do you just like, does it feel like you pressed the button, you turned around and you just know what you did, or what's going through your head when you do that?
There's a couple. I do. I'm not like fake in how I feel about like small business and restaurants and shit like that. And I think it's unfair. I've said that a million times. I don't think unless you started a business or like really tried to build one, you can 100% appreciate the work and the effort. And I've ranted about it on Barstool all the time. Like, hey, you didn't clean shit out of the news racks. And it's a fucking grind. And it's hard to be successful. It's hard to make it work. So I'm passionate about it. So when they cancel indoor dining with no, like, options for people, and there you see stats, it's like 1.9 people get corona indoors. So I'm passionate about it. Now, I also know it's a wildly viral subject that I do the rants that aren't too dissimilar, and they go bananas and mostly positive. And I don't think it's political at all. Some people try to politicize it, but I don't think it matters whether you're a Democrat or Republican or whatever. If you own a restaurant or a bar, like you're not happy right now. So to me, it's a safe thing that I feel passionate about, and I 100% know it's viral and a lot of publicity and people find about Barstool and his stance I can get behind. So it's a combo of all things. I was at Miami when that happened. I'm like, all right, I literally walked to the cabana boy or pool people. I'm like, I'm not leaving my chair. I went up into my room. So I didn't want him to give it away because chairs are in demand. I'm like, I'll be right back. Went into my room, pressed record, recorded it, posted, walked back down, and that was that. Okay, I gotta do this rant. I've done it a bunch. I can't believe it. I have to do it again. But New York City just closed indoor dining. My hair is fucking big. New York City just closed indoor dining. And it went crazy.
Well, it's interesting too. You say that, and of course, all of them trended somewhat, but this one actually caught the sidebar of Twitter, and it gives you like a description now. You know how they do that? So someone at Twitter actually had to like throw in all the information, and it's it's identified in the category of politics. So
Right. Now, I mean, it is the Cuomo is the one who made the decision. It's a political decision, but it shouldn't matter what your politics are, if that makes sense. Now, I certainly don't begrudge people. It's crazy. Like I retweeted one guy who, I don't know who the fuck he was, but I just think it's so funny the way people talk. Like, I was trying to make sense, and one guy's like, your parents must be ashamed of you. You know, it's like, that's your response to what I just said. And then you go, look, and there's a million anti-Trump things. Again, that's where people be like, how can you not be political? To me, it's not. Like, I'm not talking. This doesn't matter who you voted for, what you think. If you can't empathize with them and just think it's a no-brainer solution, I get the other argument, but I feel how I feel about it. I don't discard or dismiss other people. The people who disagree with me tend to just be like, you're Hitler. Your parents are ashamed. Like, it's nuts. They don't bring any points. They just call you names.
Well, that's a battle you've been fighting for years and years and years with the comment section, how it doesn't represent what you think. And I mean, that's it. Like, that's a big thing. People are going, and I said this last week, people are going through those replies. They're seeing a lot of fucking wacky people. And they're like, oh, this is the message that gets this response, you know?
Right. Yeah. And on both sides. I mean, some people who agree with me will try to make it like a political thing. And certainly people who don't, it really is not, and I don't know how anyone can be like small business owners, entrepreneurs who are working their asses off, losing their businesses with no control. That should be a priority that we're trying to fix because it's horrific.
Did anybody high profile commented it that crossed your radar? I got a couple here.
Well, I saw, again, what makes it political at Donald Trump Jr. I saw he retweeted Ted Cruz. So I guess as I'm saying, like, when I do it, it's not to get that response from those people. That obviously puts it into a far more, combative light because they're lightning rods in politics.
But even on the other side, I don't know if you saw it, but Sean King, completely opposite from those.
That was strange. I hate Sean King. I think he's a crazy person, but he was on my side in this one. But again, he's like, you voted for Trump or something? It's like, well, no. And I've also seen people who will rip me. They're like, everything this guy says is wrong. He doesn't want people to wear masks, this, that. It's like, I did an exact rant like that was pro-mask. So people just don't do any research. I did a rant, one of the first ones in when Corona hit, when the mask thing was being debated. It's like, just who cares if it even helps? This is a time people weren't officially being like, wear it. I was basically saying if there's a 0.00001% chance it can get rid of this pandemic faster, wear it. So I'm like, just wear it. So, but people don't do the research. Like, every single person, I guarantee you, who criticized me, and they would be like, Dave's anti-mask.
Now, is that because they think it's insincere, or they don't see it, or they choose what they want to see? Does that make sense?
Choose what they want to see. And I think what I've always said, and what I hate about politics, is I hate how most people, their answer before the question is even asked based on what party they are. I'm not like that. I'm really not. And people who know me know that. People who hate me haven't even attempted to learn that.
I saw your buddy Tom Arnold. He tweeted at the show account, actually, that the Dave Portnoy show sucks all the balls. So
I didn't see that. I did not see Tom Arnold. I don't know why he always tweets at me.
He's nuts. He's lost it.
Dave Portnoy show sucks all the balls. Potentially the worst tweet of all time. And eventually got like the Daily Beast, somebody there who probably bought followers. She tweeted about saying, I don't know, something, I'm the worst person in the world, whatever. It's like, how can anybody tweet at me and say I'm a bad human based on a rant wanting to help entrepreneurs and small business? It's crazy. Like, what is your logic behind that?
They think you're going against the population who needs to be protected here, I guess.
You got to find a solution. You stay home then.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. Because I didn't want to chime in there, but you see this. I saw a video of a mall yesterday, and it's a zoo. There's so many people at the malls.
Miami's, they put a midnight curfew. There's after parties. There's everything. You're not helping the solution. And what is the I don't believe any stats, so I don't like calling them out because people who agreed with my stance like is 1.8% of corona infections are from restaurants. I don't even know how the fuck you know that. So you see all these different stats. Listen, I've maintained it. If you're sick, health impaired, and things like that is dangerous, very dangerous. Most 99% of the normal population who's younger and healthy immune systems, they get sick and they get over it. Obviously, there's extreme examples, but it's a give and take. It's a give and take. There is no perfect solution. If some people are allergic to peanuts, do you eliminate like peanuts from society? I don't know. I'd say probably not.
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
There is no perfect answer. There is no perfect answer. So I'm open to dialogue and shit, but there is the answer of just being like, it's tough. 90% of restaurants and bars in New York City will go out of business and never get the back. That's not an answer.
And then you mentioned the profit guy. Where are we at with that? Or you're working through it?
We spoke with him. We had a conference call, and we're going to donate money and come up with a way that we think is the best help the industry or best fit for us. He has an elaborate plan that's beautiful, but I don't know that's the best fit for us quite yet. He has like a couple step plan. It essentially, the nuts and bolts of it is you take the money, pay restaurants to make very basic meals like rice and chicken and give it to the homeless or not homeless, but like people who are hungry and need food. So it's a little different, doesn't maybe get as much to like the restaurant workers, definitely a worthy cause. World Food Kitchen maybe was it, but it was kind of more elaborate plan. I'm going to speak with a couple of the groups, Erica and I, and just figure out how we think we can make the best impact.
Is that with the chefs involved too? I saw you talk to him, Chef Jose Andres.
I think he was.
Okay.
But I haven't spoken with him. I just like tweeted more the merrier.
Okay. And then real quick, obviously, before we get into more Inside Barstool, Gerber's in, like we said. So
we flipped him. We flipped him. And I did that rant. Listen, I've said this. It's not me changing my stripes. I don't care who you are, for the most part. If anybody who's my enemy, not anybody, like I don't know about Goodell, but even maybe Goodell, I said, if you turn around and be like, guess what? I love Dave Portnoy. I think he's smart. I love Barstool. I'll put my armor. I'll hug you up and join the army. There's room for you. It's the people who never turn and who are my enemies and stay my enemies who I will try to kill 100 times.
Well, he's in.
He's in. We flipped him.
Flipped him. And then you didn't even mention the 80 spot. I don't know if that's not allowed or what, but
the what?
Pens in the 8s, pens in the 80s.
Yeah, it was up a little bit today. Crazy. Listen, it's just crazy. It made it all the way to 83 at one point. I think it was 82, 84. It's crazy. What do you say? I mean, I don't know. I have no explanation. I don't know why it goes up and down on certain days or things like that. We got Maryland. It's at 82.90 as of right now. Fucking insane.
I mean, 10 months ago, and the start of Corona does feel so long ago, but just thinking of that 4.
So I bought, what is this guy? Right below it, top story, is Penn, scroll that down, 18 hours ago. I wonder what he said. Is Penn stock a good, they'll never answer it. He won't answer it, whatever article. Asuma Husna will not answer it. I bought $3 million of extra Penn stock beyond my transaction. The day we rang the bell on the NASDAQ, stock has changed. The worst day in the history of the NASDAQ. All the Penn guys are there, and they're like, oh, Corona's in China. It's not coming here. We're all domestic. We're high-fiving each other, rah-rah. It had already started descent. And I'm like, when we did the deal, it was at 26. It went to 40, and it went all the way back down to 29. I'm like, I'm going to put $3 million into this, make some quick money, and it went down to 4. And then I was panicked. I didn't know. The deal was still new. Jay doesn't tell me the finances. People are saying we're going out of business. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to lose all this money. Only me would do this deal and then a fucking pandemic in the casinos. if I invested that $3 million at 4 instead of 29, I mean, I don't have the math on that. I think I would have made like what, 80 million? I would have made a shit ton of money.
A different screenshot of that celebrity net worth picture you got there.
Oh my God. So if I bought $3 million at 4, it's at 80 right now.
60 million?
I would have made 60 million in like 6 months.
It's insane.
You would have had to have nuts that were dragging on the ground, though, to put that much into it. Because, I mean, it was tanking every day. Every day.
And you already had so much into it already.
Correct.
Right? So,
yeah.
For sure. For sure. Dave, tell us about those swipes next to you from Roman. You got those?
Yeah, they keep your dick hard, right?
No, they make you last longer.
Yeah,
Machine.
yeah, okay. So longer lasting, 8 individual endurance wipes. Swipe your dick, and your dick stays harder, longer. You stay harder
Clinically
longer.
proven.
Clinically proven. So you can longer lasting sex. So basically, you can keep the thing going. Very important. Very important. So I hear very important. So
and they ship it to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, so you don't got to worry about anybody seeing it. That's nice.
Directions: apply a small amount to head and shaft of penis before intercourse, or use as directed by a doctor. Wash product off after intercourse. Okay.
There you go. Last longer in bed. Go to GetRoman.com/Portnoy. You can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/Portnoy. Dave, I got a new little segment here that you're probably going to hate, but I want to do it. So I don't know if we were looking for all the, we definitely want people to listen to the podcast version, but we want some YouTube crossover. So new thing here, Dave, it's going to be explain that picture. There's a million pictures of you on the internet. And
I like it.
I want to talk about the origin of it. So Michelangelo, pull up the first one.
That picture, I believe, is Entrepreneur Magazine. I think they had me dressed in like a sport coat and business type profile picture. I believe that's what that's from.
How would you rate that picture?
Not my favorite. I don't like when people use it all the time. I give that like a 4.2.
But people do seem to use that a lot,
because
right?
it's like a professional looking picture.
Yes.
Do we know if I'm correct, if that's where it's from? It is where it's from?
Entrepreneur Magazine? Yeah, you got like a little smirk on there too.
Yeah, no, I'm giving them a little smirk. I hate posed pictures. I hate them.
You like the candids. You're a candid Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So if you ever wondered, like I've always wondered some of these where it's like, what is that one from? So that was from Entrepreneurship. It's used all the time, like we said.
Yeah, Entrepreneur Magazine.
Entrepreneur Magazine. And then Michelangelo, you got one more. Let's scroll this one. This is another famous picture that's always used.
Boston Globe. They did a profile on me, and that looks like it just rolled out of bed, and they just came in. That was in the office. I was sitting on the stairs of the old Milton office, just sitting on the stairs, and they're like, look away. That's how I looked every single day. I basically came to the office.
That's another one. That might have been, no, what's the original, like the Blogfather logo, where you might be in a tux for that, but the hair is kind of similar, and you're.
It's always amazing to me. The people who don't like me generally choose pictures I look good in. It makes no sense. Like, that's my number one trick when I'm like, hey, I hate this person. I'm going to find a disgusting picture of them. And I have a lot of them. Like the green candy one should be, I'd use that for every article ever written about me if I didn't like me. And then I'd deny it. I'd be like, that's not me.
So do you like this Boston Globe one?
The picture?
Yeah.
No.
What is that? What would you rate this one?
3, 4.
But that's so like old school Milton, that picture,
That's a guy who just woke up, walked with his fan to the office, ate a ton of Panera, ton of baguettes, blogged fucking nonstop, walked home with his fan, slept for a minute, blogged, and just did that over and over. Like, I don't even know what my yeah. Now it's very true that I shout out to what the fuck is the name of that ice cream place? Ice Cream Smith, Lower Mills, Dorchester. Awesome ice cream. And it was like a 2-minute walk from my apartment. And it turns out the guy who worked there was a Barstool fan, and I would just walk in, trade him a bunch of Barstool T-shirts for like pints of ice cream. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he did a pizza review there. You walked right over after.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's explain this picture with Dave. Michelangelo is going to put the time code of this in the podcast description. So hop on over to YouTube, watch the YouTube, go to that section. Let's get some YouTube views here too. We're crossing over here, Dave.
I love it.
All right, so a little inside Barstool here. Can you explain to us? I know you're going to get deep into it on BFFs, but the Bryce Hall thing for people that aren't well versed in this whole world now.
Sure. So basically, the guy I do the podcast with, Josh Richards, part of something called Sway House. Sway House is a bunch of popular TikTok guys. And so what happened was it started Alex. We had Alex on BFFs from obviously Call Her Daddy. She rated the Sway House boys, said one of them, Bryce Hall, looked like Sid from Sau-Sage. He got butthurt about it. He was like, rah, rah. Then Kareem, who works here, makes like these GIFs for the BFF social and pictures. And this is so complicated and our audience may not care about this, but Lil Yachty made a song, and in the song he's talking about Addison Rae. Addison Rae, super famous TikTok girl. That's Bryce Hall's girlfriend. So Kareem made a fake picture of Bryce Hall listening to the Lil Yachty song, like he was listening on Spotify, that he talks about wanting Addison Rae. It's on the BFF social. Bryce Hall thinks I made it and basically tweets at me, "You sad little man, like why do you have to use an 18-year-old for clout?" And that started a little bit of a meme war. Bryce Hall is, tissue paper. So I don't know what he's getting so mad about. Neither does Josh, who's his friend. He's like, yeah, I thought he'd kind of laugh it off. So we had a back and forth. Good for me. Like, just get us in the news. Get us in the headlines. Eddie, I was at the pool in Miami. 2 girls walked past me, 14 years old. 14, maybe 13. I don't know how old. They're tiny little nothings. I saw they were in masks. One of them, huge smile when she walks by me. I saw it. They walk to the end of the pool, stop, pull out their phones, and they're doing like the look at the phone, look at me, like trying to put it together. For 20 minutes, I could see them like looking. And I'm like, these are Josh Richards fans. These are BFFs. Like, I can tell. No one else. Finally, they gather the courage and like, are you Dave Portnoy? I'm like, yep. They're like, we love BFFs. I'm telling you, this demo, and I don't care for it. Just give me people. Just give me people, Eddie. I don't care the size, the shape, the age, the country. Just give me people. I'll put merch in their hands.
No, I think you were vindicated by how it's gone so far. I think you've explained yourself. Be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to get in every corner of the internet I can get in. I think you're clearly there.
We are big on tech. I'm going head to head with Jackson Mahomes. Like, I pivot on a level that very few pivot on. Like, I go from political, air quotes, rants to TikTok dances to 14-year-olds to DDTG to fucking football to conference calls with CEOs to fucking launching new companies to drinks. I just pivot, move, and shake. People, my enemies, look for me. It's like when you see the Untouchables, the time they do that bust, they think they get Al Capone, they open its umbrella. My enemies look for me. They come do the bust. I'm 18 states away on my 28th project when they've been staking out an empty warehouse.
It's got range. The man's got range.
Yes.
What happened with Jackson Mahomes and the TikTok?
So he's a huge TikTok guy, and I had beef with him because they like celebrated in Foxborough and I think it was actually Patrick's girlfriend, and I was like, I hate him. So I've been going back and forth. I don't hate him now. I think he's a TikToker, and his dance is so outrageous that it's like you almost got to tip your cap. He does it everywhere. So on Sports Advisors, I was in Miami, and the Chiefs were coming to Miami, and Dan asked us if I was going to the game. I'm like, if I go to the game, I guess we can play the clip here. It's up. Also, if I go to this game, I will challenge
Brian Flores to an arm wrestling match.
No, I will not. I will. What is Mahomes' brother name?
Oh, Jackson.
Jackson
Mahomes.
TikTok.
TikTok off. So I got, I did a duet. You probably don't know what that is, Eddie. I don't see you being a huge TikTok guy, but you can like basically mirror what we had a dance off. I also found out we filmed BFFs right before that, and they're like, why are you dabbing? Like, that's very, 10 years ago. It's like, well, I was dabbing because Jackson Mahomes was dabbing, you fools. And like, no, he was doing the whoa. Now I don't know what the woe is, but apparently I screwed that part. Like the way my brain works, I watched the video 100 times, and it's like, okay, he does 3 things. He does a raise the roof type situation when he gets out. Then he dabs. Then he does like a couple bunny hops, and then he dabs again. So those 4 things I had in my head, and I'm like, just do that, and you'll be close enough. So that's what I did. 2 million views on TikTok.
Unreal. And then we've talked about, I think, your Miami hotel twice already this podcast, but we buried the lead on the most important thing about that. About it. It sounds like you ran into a Barstool employee there, one who was brought up on the show before as well.
Sau-Sage. I texted Frankie. I go, you'll never believe it, but Sau-Sage is at my hotel. We should almost have him in here as thought process because, first of all, my everlasting image of him is feeding himself, stuffing himself with shrimp cocktail at the Kentucky Derby. But to be sitting in the pool and see Sau-Sage floating around, talk about ruining your appetite, ruining your view, ruining the weather. And my question, and I saw him like 10 times. Saw him in the elevator. It's not that big of a hotel. Everywhere I go, I see Sau-Sage. I'm on vacation. I feel like it's very well documented where I go in my, like what I do. I stay at the one hotel. That's where I stay. I've stayed there every time. I've said I rent a place there. He had to know that. There's plenty of hotels. He's never been there. Because you see, it's just impossible to be there if you're long and not bump into somebody. I saw him 10 times. Why there? There's plenty of nice hotels in South Beach. Why does Sau-Sage feel the need to go where I am?
Where was your first interaction at the pool?
Yeah, I did like a triple take. I was like, Sau-Sage? You? And then it's like, we're paying this expensive hotel. It's like, this guy's just floating around in the fucking pool. Erica calls, she's like, is Sau-Sage really there? I was like, fuck yeah. She's like, I'm sorry.
He's going off your recommendation. He didn't know you'd be there this weekend.
Gaz's sitting over. He knows I don't like necessarily, like, when I'm away, I don't want, like, Barstool there. I don't want Sau-Sage there.
And I also saw you retweeted a picture of a stoolie who got 12, like, ball markers from Welker.
Yeah, vintage Welker. Welker don't give a fuck. Things... I just picture him going as fast as he can and just stuffing things into it. So this person ordered 1 and they got 12. I mean, how do you do that?
It was like 12 ball markers.
How do you do that? Only Welker. You just became part of the Mike Welker experience. I got in a fight with Welker again. We're trying to come up with like promos and stuff for when we launch the sports book in Michigan. And I'm like, Mike, I need you to think outside the box for merch. Like, I'm on the phone with Starter Jackets, trying to get Starter Jackets. I thought I had them, like, custom, not enough lead time. And I asked him before, and he's just doing nothing. I'm like, do I need to do it, or can you do it? He's like, I'll do it. So he sent me.
This is what someone sent to me.
He sent, what is that? What is this? See what he sent? Did you see this picture, Eddie?
Pull the text.
No.
Pull the text up.
Hill's brilliant. But so Welker just sent me the same exact shit we sell. He when I'm like outside the box, he just sent me like Gildan t-shirts. I'm like, is this your definition of outside the box, Mike? I started calling him Michael. I started Michaeling. I said, Michael, this is not outside the box.
You Francesa'd him?
You see this text right here?
Yeah, so what, it's like a Barstool Jordan kind of thing?
No. Can you not see what it is? The hut screen print is still on the shirt.
Oh.
It says, hey, stool sales guys, it's normal to finish the stitching on sweatshirts now. Asking for a friend. It's like not done.
That's the experience.
Things are going fast. You just shove shit in envelopes.
That's the experience. What's up with it? Is all the shipping going to be there for Christmas? Are we okay on that, or what's going on?
Hope for his sake he is. This is how they get it done. You don't even have the thing. You don't even have a fucking thing.
Oh, man. Let's do a DHM detox real quick, Dave. You got that up?
No Days Wasted is here to help you maximize life's moments. The hero product DHM Detox, the vitamin for people who like to enjoy their drinks. Tens of thousands of people are using DHM Detox as their drinking buddy. Enjoy your drinks, forget the Sunday scaries, or in this case, the Monday scaries and feeling like garbage. Take 2 capsules after your first couple drinks goes to work. DHM Detox uses science to help boost your body's natural response to alcohol, help break down those toxins. They're conveniently packages, making them easy to share with friends and family. Also, they just launched a new hydration replenisher with immune support. Delicious watermelon lemonade electrolyte drink mix to help you rehydrate, but also help support your immune system with vitamin C, D, and zinc. Hydration anytime, morning, evening, exercise, or travel, paired perfectly with DHM Detox. As the days get shorter and colder, make sure you're thinking about your immune system, and Hydration Replenisher is here to help. No Days Wasted offers a risk-free purchase, so if you don't love it, they'll refund you on your first box. They not only support this show, they do BFFs. They're supporting the Dave Portnoy movement. I love it. We've got you 20% off your order. Free shipping in the U.S. Just head over to nodayswasted.co. Promo code Dave at checkout. That's nodayswasted.co.
All right, so a couple more things. I will do some listener emails. We'll get out of here. You tweeted Zah and Troopz, the best content duo at Barstool.
They are right now. They're electric. And I almost blogged this. I got too tired. It really is such a special, like, only Barstool thing, and that we bring in a guy from, like, London, England, wherever he's from, Arsenal. We've never touched soccer. And he's great. Troopz is great. But the combo of him and Zah, that we just happen to have this African midget sitting here who is a diehard soccer fan, and the way they play off, like, there's no way Troopz knew coming in here, like, we'd have the perfect foil for him. Like, it's just, it's serendipity, like, the way those two, now how to get it bigger and out there, but they're electric together. Like, when they had the microphone, I thought they were going to kill each other in the post-game interview. I mean, they need a part. Everything about these two is magic right now. It really is. And I guess the fact Arsenal, traditionally like a good soccer team, is like on the verge of getting relegated with these two guys screaming at each other.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, Zah really doesn't like content, right? So he's kind of, it's just like a perfect storm where he just loves his team. Like, he was sucked into it. So
yeah, no, it's not like, yes, correct. It's like, hey, Arsenal is like, yes. I mean, Zah's been a huge soccer guy since he's been here. It just really, you never know. You just never know when, like, something like that, this twosome that nobody could imagine in a bazillion years at Barstool, all of a sudden end up together. Even like they're not being allowed to stream correctly because it's like NFL Sundays going on. So they're in this weird makeshift studio looking thing. I mean, everything about it is just perfect.
It's so early too. It's great. Like, for Barstool, like, you got so much content like that. You're rolling that into NFL Sunday. Like, that's
I mean, you have NFL games going on, and then in the corner, this little corner part of the office, you have Troopz and Zah literally on the verge of killing each other.
What's giving you hope? Oh, I'll tell you anything. I told you my whole issue with transfer windows. The guy has inherited a dead squad. It's only
who's gonna come to the squad in 15th? Who?
Tell Kroenke to fucking whip out his checkbook. The guy is one of the richest. He's one of the richest guy on the planet. So we should be putting. That's what I'm saying.
We are 15th.
Our pressure.
Money is not going to get no one, Zah.
Money fixes everything.
We're 15th, you fucking wallad.
It's something totally different too. Also, Smitty announced he's having a kid.
Good for Smitty.
No conversation with him. No congratulations. Nothing.
Nope.
You seemed a little happier for Kate when she was pregnant.
I was happy for Kate. I'm happy for Smitty, I guess. I mean, he didn't tell me. I saw it. I knew. I don't know. Smitty and I are just like we exist.
Did you see all the employees kind of scrambling last week about open enrollment?
I saw Bailey Carlin tweet like something about insurance. I almost tweeted back at him, but it like, shut your mouth. Like, I couldn't tell if it was a real tweet or not tweet. But it's been going on forever. Oh, I didn't almost tweet that. I almost tweeted I didn't have insurance for 15 years. We have insurance. We're a real company. But it was giving the illusion like we don't. So that's why I wasn't like psyched with it.
Yeah, I think he was probably kidding, I assume.
But it like didn't come. I forget what the tweet said.
And then I saw Gaz tweeted that the internet went out when All Biz Pete was making a year-end presentation. Did you see that?
No.
It's just poetic. It's Pete Pete'd himself. All right, we'll do some listener emails. We'll get out of here. Also, if you want to send an email, it's DavePortnoyShow@BarstoolSports.com. Send it there, please. Please send it there, DavePortnoyShow@BarstoolSports.com. That's where you send the email to if you want to get on the show.
Breaking news. Kevin Hayes just texted me. Do we think Penn is going to keep climbing? I don't know, Kevin. I hope so.
Hopefully.
Is he trying to get me to perjure myself?
Probably. This one's from Scott. Are you considering hiring a former athlete like Dion to take over the college football show?
What happened on the college football show?
No, just like we talked about it before, where you're like, maybe I'll sit that one out next year. Maybe we'll, there's no former.
No, I hadn't given any thought to that.
No, not like a Matt Leinart or something.
I did see what's his face walking to work today though, Jesse Palmer.
Oh, really? Anthony, why does the price of T-shirts in the store keep going up?
Somebody's got to pay Welker.
Do you think they're too expensive?
How much is a T-shirt?
I think it's like $28 now.
No, my guess is we're just like how I would do it. If a shirt costs $6 when I did it, it's probably like I doubt those. We just pass it along. So if the shirt we're buying is $6 and now it's $7 or $8 or different quality, we keep the margins the same.
This one's from Matt. Is the Barstool book still happening? Have you thought about writing one yourself?
Eventually there may be a book, but it's not anytime soon. There's no time for it.
I assume that you've been hit up to write an autobiography, though, right?
Not so much. I mean, I've turned down all that stuff because I just don't have the time for it. But not recently. There was a big book rush around one time where everybody, because I think I said I wanted to do it, and every like publisher in the world reached out, but it's just not it's not a priority right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's like ways where you could just fucking say it, tell the stories, and then someone writes it. I know that's how like Artie Lang did his. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty. You don't need me to do that. All the stories are out there. They've been told a bazillion times.
That's true.
Maybe someone will probably do that. They'll write the book without my permission. They could, I think. I don't think you need my permission to do that.
No, but you're from your words. Like they want like the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, my
like,
words are out there though.
On everything?
On everything.
I don't know about that.
A lot of my words are out there.
A lot of them are, for sure. Last one here from Dave. What's the evolution of your relationship with Clay Travis?
I haven't thought about him much. It was obviously contentious for a while because he was going through a phase where I felt like he was maybe trashing us or saying, but yeah, it's pretty. I'd say it's cooled off. It's cooled off.
Yeah, but from the jump, I think people want to know too, and you've said this before, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, that you wanted him to like headline Barstool South, Barstool, whatever.
I want to buy Outkick. I didn't want to buy Outkick. I wanted to buy him. Way back. And it was friendly then at the time, and then it all started changing. I thought it was not revision. This is going back why I didn't care for him. He started, I felt, stealing my shtick. And then he wouldn't admit it publicly, but he would privately, and then he doubled down on it, and that was aggravating me. He was being like different in behind the scenes than publicly, but it has cooled off. We haven't had like an issue in a while.
Yeah, I think like the big thing was you did stuff with him and Furman like at the Arizona house or something.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
So like I don't even think people would know that. He might have been on the rundown before.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It's like we were friendly, and then like I said, I really thought he intentionally was like stealing my shtick, and I think you would say it was privately.
And then I think probably, I know Gaz in the room, so I'm sorry, Gaz, but I think one of the maddest I've seen you was at that Super Bowl about the PR snafu.
I was very mad. Gaz left, but I was very mad about that because, and PR doesn't do this anymore for the most part, something happened. I was in the news for something, and they reached out to different agencies and publications to see if we could get publicity for me, which is their job. And they reached out to Outkick and Clay, be like, hey, would you be interested? They pitched Clay Travis to talk about me and interview me after I'm like, I'll never talk to Clay Travis. So it gave him like a wrench to be like, look how desperate Dave is. And for me, we got rid of the PR firm. That was the last day they worked for us.
Really?
Yeah, because like if our PR firm is that clueless about us and me, they can't rep us.
Yeah, that's such a basic mistake.
Right. I mean, it's at that point was a pretty well-documented enemy of mine.
Do you like that they're kind of grouping you and him in right now, though? Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen that a little bit.
Who?
Like a lot of people are like, oh, the Clay Travis and Dave Portnoy.
No, yeah. No, I think that's wildly unfair. That goes back to people who think I'm like It's an interesting thing because Clay Travis is an act. That's always been my thing with him. He's an act. Even him with the way he goes about Outkick and, almost like reverse race baiting in my mind and like always being, I don't think he believes a lot of things he says, but he's very smart. He always has been. He uses different things, granted I said earlier, but far more inflammatory, I think, issues for like, to generate publicity and like going on. When he went on, what was the show he's on? When he's like boobs, and says stuff like that. I don't do that. I'm real to who I am and how I feel. But I get the people who don't like me think I am like everything they think he is, which I don't think he is that either. But he intentionally portrays that where I do not. That was a convoluted answer. I don't know if that made sense.
No, I mean, I think it did. I think people have accused him. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know people have definitely accused him that he's going down this road for, for either shtick or there's more of a greener
it's a business decision. He is doing it for business reasons.
So yeah, people, there is a thought process of that. So I don't know him.
No, he does. And I mean, again, in a private room, he would certainly admit that, I believe.
All right. That's all we got for today, Dave.
All right. Thanks, Eddie.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. That's it for today.